Hello, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Having built winning culture the quiet way, Sasha Barkov ready to lead Panthers into another Stanley Cup Final. The first Finnish-born captain to lift the Stanley Cup when he led the Florida Panthers to the trophy last season, Aleksander Barkov has quietly molded a winning Panthers team in his own image. When the Florida Panthers take to the ice for a third straight NHL Stanley Cup Finals appearance in the 2025 edition, one man will quietly lead from the front again. Their captain, Aleksander Sasha Barkov, was the first Finnish-born NHL captain to lift Lord Stanley's Cup when he did so last year, having led the Panthers past the Edmonton Oilers in a 7-game thriller. He is looking for a repeat of that this year against the same opponents, having turned his franchise's postseason fortunes around since he was appointed captain in 2018. And Barkov has done so in an unassuming way, leading his team by quiet example rather than being a vocal leader. The result is a winning culture in the Panthers clubhouse, with 3 straight Wales Trophy triumphs as Eastern Conference champions, quiet but effective. Barkov transforms the Panthers. The Panthers made their first Stanley Cup Final in 1996, in just their 3rd season, as an expansion team added in 1993. But between then and 2018, when Barkov was made captain, they made the playoffs just 4 times. Since the 2019 and 2020 season, Barkov has led the Panthers into the postseason every single year, being eliminated at the first hurdle in 2020 and 2021, the second round in 2022, and the final in 2023 before finally winning the cup last year. It's a clear progression under the unassuming Finn. Speaking to The Athletic, the Panthers' general manager Bill Zito said of how Barkov has helped change things around in the clubhouse. If you came into the meal room, you wouldn't know who's who, you didn't know who scored the winning goal, you didn't know who didn't play. The core of this group is a function of our best players, our stars, and it starts with Sasha, how caring he is as a human and a teammate, and how it forces you to be better. It starts with him. I think he makes you want to be a better teammate and person. But it's important to note that unassuming doesn't mean unassertive. Barkov wants his work in training and on the ice to do the talking, but speaks up when necessary. Brad Marchand, the NHL veteran who's now on the Panthers, having been acquired from his longtime Boston Bruins team earlier this season, knows all about such captains, having played under Zdeno Chara in Boston. When Z would speak, it would hold a tremendous amount of weight because he wasn't speaking all the time, so guys would really listen, he told NHL. Which is what Barky does. He takes over in games, and he seems to show up in the big moments, and does all the right things, and plays the proper way. When he uses his voice in the room or on the bench, it just carries a lot of weight, and guys really hang on every word. But ask Barkov about himself, and he plays his impact down. The main thing is just, I'm being myself. I'm not trying to be anything else, he said per NHL. And with NHL players expected back at the Winter Olympics in 2026, Team Finland could find itself with a huge influence in its dressing room in Milano Cortina next year. If the 2014 Olympic bronze medalist Barkov played 2 games in Sochi before leaving the tournament through injury, is selected for his 2nd Olympic team. Perfect human. Barkov's charity and philanthropy lead to King Clancy Trophy. Away from the Aimrant Bank Arena, where the Panthers play their home games, Barkov's impact is also felt elsewhere in Florida. Nowhere more so, perhaps, than in the community, specifically at the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital in Hollywood, Florida. Since 2019, the Finn has donated some $420,000 to the pediatric hospital, $1,600 for each goal and $800 for each assist he tallies, in honor of his number 16 jersey. That money has contributed to the hospital being able to expand its facility, as well as build a new playroom. And Barkov donates a VIP box every year at the Aimrant Bank Arena to the hospital. Those contributions have netted Barkov his first King Clancy Memorial Trophy Award from the NHL, an award presented to the player who best exemplifies leadership on and off the ice, and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community this season. He just sets the perfect example for everyone, especially young guys coming in, a guy to look up to, teammate Sam Bennett said to NHL.com. He really is just the perfect human. Rematch between Barkov and Connor McDavid. When the Panthers and Oilers take to the Rogers Place ice on Wednesday, it will be just the 12th time in NHL history and the second time in 40 years that two teams go head-to-head in the Stanley Cup Final for a second straight year. The last time it happened was 2008 and 2009, with the Detroit Red Wings winning in 2008 before the Pittsburgh Penguins took their revenge the year after. Before that, you have to go back to 1983 and 1984, with the New York Islanders beating the Oilers in 1983 before Edmonton won the Cup in '84. If Barkov and the Panthers hold off the Oilers, they will become just the fourth team in the last 30 years to successfully defend the Cup after the Tampa Bay Lightning 2021, Penguins 2017, and Red Wings 1998. To do so, Barkov will need to win what is sure to be a key duel on the ice, that against another star center, Edmonton's Connor McDavid. When the two teams met last year, Florida opening a 3-0 series lead before the Oilers drew it level at 3-3, and the Panthers won the deciding game. McDavid, a prolific assist maker and point scorer, didn't contribute a single point in the last two games of the series. Barkov and the Panthers will be hoping for a repeat of that this year, and he is perhaps better placed than most others to contribute. After all, he is now the three-time and two-time back-to-back winner of the Frank J. Zelka Trophy, awarded to the NHL's best defensive forward. The 2013 number 2 overall draft pick, who is also the Panthers' all-time franchise leader in regular season games played, 892 postseason assists, 51 as of the end of the conference finals, and postseason points 76 as of the end of the conference finals, 156.5% of his faceoffs taken in the regular season, blocked 54 shots, and had 34 takeaways. And only McDavid has covered more ice distance these playoffs among forwards than Barkov, according to the NHL's edge tracking stats. It's all set up for an exciting 2025 Cup Final, and one in which Barkov is sure to play a huge role, however it ends. Please subscribe the channel. Share this with a friend. Thank you.